Eagles Pep Band, and you're watching CITV.
Hello and welcome to another edition of CITV Sports. I'm Scott Samuel David Weiss. It's Monday, December 18th, 2017. We're at Facenda Whitaker Lanes in East Norriton, Pennsylvania for Suburban 1 American Boys Bowling, featuring the Upper Dublin Cardinals of Fort Washington and the Plymouth Whitemarsh Colonials of Plymouth Meaning. The Cardinals enter play 0-12 on the season, while the Colonials are 5-7. We're going to have 3 regulation games of 10 frames apiece. Each bowler will roll 10 frames apiece in each game. And after the third game, we'll tally up the scores, and the series total will count as the 4th game. Starting lineups for the Cardinals, coached by Mike Morgan. We'll have Justin Colon leading off, followed by Joey Monaghan. 3-hole will be Ethan Dordert. 4-hole will be Gabe Lacaddy. Sam Joseph will be anchor for the Cardinals. For Plymouth Whitemarsh, the leadoff will be Jaden Hudson. 2-hole David Serto. 3-hole Zach Miller. 4-hole Tyler Panzer. And the anchor Jake Newell. Jaden Hudson starts it off. Justin Colon starts it off on lane 44. Hudson leaves the 1, 2, 4, and 10 pins on lane 43. Justin Colon leaves the 3 pin on 44. We're on lanes 43 and 44. Colon try to pick up the 1 pin spare, and he gets it. Justin Colon this season averaging 158.89 pins per game in league play. Hudson gets 3 of 4. It's an open. Jaden Hudson this season averaging 168.44 in league play. His high game is 211. Joey Monaghan up next on the right lane for the Cardinals. Just 3 games under his belt so far in league play. Hits the left side. He gets 4 pins. Here's David Serto. He knocks everything but the 2 and 5 pins. Serto averaging 170.55. Monaghan leaves 3 pins. So after Colon picked up the spare, Monaghan comes up short. Serto leaves 1 pin. So back-to-back open frames for the Colonials. PW is coming off an appearance at the 2017 Snowblower Showdown in Lancaster, PA on December 16th. PW came in 30th. Tyler Panzer had a 585 series. There were 4 200 games by PW bowlers. Here's Zach Miller. Cannot knock down that middle 5. On the right lane now will be Ethan Dordert for the Cardinals. And he gets the first strike of the match. Dordert, 136.44 average. His high game so far, 190. So, spare, a strike, and open for the Cardinals. Miller's second is dead on. So first mark of the game for PW. Now here's Gabe Lacaddy, and he knocks everything down for the Cardinals. Back-to-back strikes. Tyler Panzer for PW on the left lane and gets everything. First strike for PW. Right now it's 38-37 PW early on. During the 2016-17 season, these teams split the meetings 4-4. Those 4 games were the only wins of last season for Upper Dublin. The Cardinals finished 4-44 in league play. Sam Joseph can't knock down the 10. Here's Jake Newell, and he gets everything with authority. Back-to-back strikes for PW. Through one flame in game one, PW has 48. Jake Newell did not bowl for PW during the 2016-17 school year. Joseph picks up the spare. It's 48-47 PW. Justin Cologne will begin the second frame on the left lane for Upper Dublin. Jaden Hudson off a 6-3. PW last season was 8-40. Went 4-4 against the Cardinals, as I had said not too long ago. Hudson did not bowl varsity last season, and Cologne rolls it into the right gutter. After the spare in the first frame, he gets an open. Joey Monaghan will be next on lane 43. Hudson misses a pair. Back-to-back opens for PW's leadoff. Monaghan leaves the 2 and 5 pins. David Serto now in the right lane for Plymouth Whitemarsh. And he knocks down 7. Serto had a 220 game in the Snowlower Showdown a couple days ago. PW has 4 200 games in league play this year. They had 4 200 games in the Snowlower. Thumbs up by Monaghan as he picks up the 2-pin spare. Serto gets all of them, so he picks up the 3-pin spare. Ethan Dorder in the left lane gets 9. He leaves the 3. Right now, temporarily, it's 91-66 Upper Dublin. Last time PW swept Upper Dublin was on January 6, 2016, here at Facenda Whitaker. And Dorder, after a first frame strike, picks up the 1-pin spare. Zach Miller gets everything. Spare and strike so far for the free hole for PW. Tyler Panzer will follow on the right lane. Now on the left lane is Gabe Lacati, who had to strike his first time up. Can't get that middle pin to go. Upper Dublin this season, 705 game average. High game is 798. High series, 2,214. Panzer avoids trouble. Leaves the 7. Locati will pick it up. Upper Dublin historically has struggled on the lanes. In fact, Upper Dublin has not gotten above 10 wins in a season in a while, if they ever have. Panzer picked up that spare. There's Sam Joseph on the left lane for the Cardinals, and he knocks down all 10. 4 of the 5 bowlers for the Cardinals, that second frame, got marks. They have 133 through 2, the Cardinals. Jake Newell knocks all 10. So, 2 strikes and 2 rolls for the senior anchor for Plymouth Whitemarsh. This is his 3rd year on varsity. Newell qualified for Eastern PA Regionals his freshman and sophomore years. Jaden Hudson will start the 3rd frame for PW. Right now, it's 133, 132, Upper Dublin. After that roll, here's Cologne. He'll leave 3 on the right side to deal with the 3, the 6, and the 10 pins. Hudson struggled at the Snowlower Showdown a couple days ago. Had a 116 first game, so Jeff Blizzard, PW's 14th season head coach, inserted Evan Elgart into the lineup. Hudson was reinserted in the 3rd game. Hudson is 3rd straight open. Serto with his first strike of the game. Cologne did pick up the spare. Joey Monaghan back-to-back marks with the X. Not mistaken, Joey Monaghan also plays on the Upper Dublin Flying Cardinals baseball team. Zach Miller on a spare and a strike. Leaves the 7. Dordert on a spare now. And his third frame will get everything. It has been a while since Upper Dublin has gotten a 900 game. None alone Upper Dublin having someone get a 600 series. In fact, the possible last 600 series by Upper Dublin was by Ryan Carr. 608 on January 8th, 2014. That was a 4-0 loss to North Penn at the defunct Thunderbird Willow Grove. Miller, 2 spares and a strike. Now here's Panzer. He misses 2 middle pins. He misses the 1 and 3. Now Gable Caddy will pick up the 2-pin spare. That's 7 straight marks. Now make it 8 for the Cardinals. Up 201 to 190. Toward the end of the third frame, Panzer will get both. So Tyler Panzer, who's bowled 3 games entering this one, averaging 156, has nothing but marks so far. Sam Joseph on lane 44 to right side gets 9 pins. Here's Newell. Doesn't get the head pin. PW has given up at least 1 game win to Upper Dublin in 3 straight matches. Sam Joseph, 2 spares and a strike. 221 to 213 Upper Dublin through 3 in game 1. And Newell gets the spare. So now through 3 frames in game 1, 221, 219 Cardinals. Upper Dublin has not had a bowler qualified for the Eastern PA Regionals individual portion since Adam Benkin back in 2009. Jaden Hudson still cannot get all 10. Now on the left side is Justin Cologne, and he'll get everything. Cologne has one of Upper Dublin's 200 games this season. It was a 228 that he had. Upper Dublin's head coach Mike Morgan, he's a fun guy to be around. He wants to make sure his bowlers have fun. Hudson picks up his first mark of the game. It's a spare. Now for the 2 holes in frame 4, it's 241 to 229 Cardinals. Cardinals 0 and 12 in games on the season. And there's Joey Monaghan getting a double now. Second straight strike. Plymouth Whitemarsh 5 and 7 in the conference so far this season. 838 average per game. 921 is the high game. 2646 is the high series. David Serto will have to deal with the 6-pin on the second ball in the right lane. Now on the left is Ethan Dordert. 2 of the 3 balls have been strikes. And he'll deal with another 1-pin spare opportunity. He leaves the 8 on the left lane. Serto will pick up the 1-pin spare. It's now 6 straight marks for the Colonials. How about the Cardinals so far? They have not missed a mark since Cologne to begin the second frame, and all 10 there for Zach Miller. 2 strikes, 2 spares. Gable Caddy leaves the 10 on lane 43 right now. 299 to 269 Cardinals. Last time Upper Dublin had a bowler roll at 600 series against PW, I think was Curtis Carter in 2010. I think it was a 610 series back on January 14, 2010 here in East Norriton. McCaddy picked up the strike. Panzer rolled 9. Tyler Panzer had 2 200 games in the Snow Lower Showdown on December 16th for that 585 series. Believe it or not, Plymouth Whitemarsh has not had a bowler roll a 600 series in league play since February 1st, 2016, both John Hansel and Jake Newell. There's a 3-1 win over the Knights. Sam Joseph, another strike. Panzer will pick up the loose change. 3 straight spares for Panzer after that first frame strike. It's 320 to 288 as we're about to end the 4th frame, and it's in favor of Upper Dublin. And Newell's got to deal with the 10th. Jake Newell's high series for PW is 745. That was the 2015 Snow Roller, and it misses the high series record by just 1 pin. Chris Hammis had a 746 in 2010, and Newell will pick it up. So right now through 4, 320 to 319 Upper Dublin is Hudson on the left lane. Rolled 6 on his first ball. Still looking for that first strike. And he gets his 4th open in 5 frames. Justin Cologne in the right lane has a 2-pin split opportunity. There's a strike for David Serto. It's his 2nd strike. Cologne can only get 1 into 2. It's the first open for Upper Dublin since his open in the 2nd frame. He's at 74. It's 338 for Upper Dublin now, 342 for PW. Zach Miller's up after the Serto strike. The 10 won't budge. Miller now at 88 pending the roll. Monaghan on a double to see if he's going to get the first turkey of the game. This is Suburban One American Boys Bowling on CITV. And the 5 played tricks on him will stay up. Miller rolls it in the gutter. It's his first open frame. It's now 365 to 360 Upper Dublin. In the 5th, Upper Dublin still has a couple rollers behind PW to go. Tyler Panzer, 3 straight spares. And there's a 2nd strike. Tyler Panzer doing a good job for the Colonials. He's at 87 through 5. It's 380 to 365 PW as Monaghan gets an open frame. He's at 84. Now Jake Newell on the left gets all 10. Newell's high game this season is 210. He's had higher games for the Colonials in past years. 400 for PW for 5 in game 1. Upper Dublin still has a couple of bowlers to go in the 5th frame. Upper Dublin in 2016-17, 4 and 44. The season before, 4 and 52. Last season, there had been 1 fewer team in Suburban One American. That's going to be an open frame for Ethan Dordert. That's his first miss. Upper Dublin is down 400 to 383. Still has Gabe Licati and Sam Joseph to go in this frame. Doesn't hit the head pin but gets 6. Is Licati, who's averaging 135.33. His high game is 204. So the Cardinals have 2 200 games this season. They had just 3 total last year. None of the current bowlers had those 200 games last season. They were posted by Austin Shea, 204, Jesse Wiener, 200, Brendan McNeil, 216. McCaddy will get all of them. Good pickup. That ends the 3-bowler miss streak. It's now 400 to 399 PW as Sam Joseph is going to end the 5th frame for Upper Dublin on the right lane. He's the anchor, rolling with 2 hands. He leaves the 10. Cologne will pick up 7 to begin the 6th frame in game 1 for the Cardinals. In the Suburban One American Conference, entering this game, there have been 74 200 games. Already 8 teams participating. Good pickup by Joseph, who has nothing but strikes and spares for 5. Second ball now for Cologne. He'll just get the 5 pin, gets 1 of 3. That's his third miss. So right now, 6th frame, 427 to 400 Upper Dublin, already with 1 bowler underway. Hudson gets 9 of 10. He'll have to deal with the 10. Monaghan rolls straight. He'll pick up 8. Justin Cologne's 532 series earlier this season was Upper Dublin's first in a couple seasons. Did not have any 500-plus series by any Cardinal last season. Hudson gets a second spare of the game. 1 of 2 for Monaghan. 5 of the last 7 were misses for the Cardinals. David Serto in the right lane for PW. It's a deal with the 6 and 10. Ethan Dordert, his 6th frame. Gets a friendly spin to make it 9 pins knocked down. He's at a 97 pen in the roll. Serto lows in the gutter. He's at 95 through 6. Hudson's at 60 through 6. It's 445 to 426 Cardinals looking for their first game win of the season. Dordert picks up the spare. He's got 5 of 6 marks. Zach Miller gets 9 of 10 in the right lane now. Wakati will pick up 6. Plymouth Whitemarsh's last match was December 13th against Abington, I believe, at Pike Lanes. PW won 4-0 against the Ghosts. It was PW's first 4-0 sweep win since January 28th, 2016. That was against Upper Moreland at Thunderbird Willow Grove, which has since closed. Zach Miller picks up the spare. Licati gets 2 of the 4 he needed. So that's 7. I think that's 6 opens in the last 9. For the Cards. So now Panzer has to deal with a split. Sam Joseph, I think, leaves the 3. Wants to keep his mark streak alive. Panzer comes up empty-handed. He's at 103 through 6. Joseph at 108, pen in a row for the Cardinals in this first game. And he'll pick it up. Nothing but spares and strikes for the Upper Dublin anchor. 479 for the Cardinals. Through 6. Jake Newell gets everything. That's his 4th strike. 472 for PW. 7th frame now. Jaden Hudson still without a strike. Hudson, 4 opens, 2 spares. He got 9 in that first ball. Cologne, averaging 158.89. We'll get 9 on the right lane for the Cards. Hudson picks up his 2nd straight spare. Cologne is ranked 36 in Suburban 1 American in terms of average. And on cue, he picks up a mark. Here's Serto. He's averaging 170.55. And then there's 23rd best in the conference and gets everything with authority. His 3rd strike. Puts him at 105 through 7. Monaghan leaves the 7. If PW sweeps the Cardinals, it will be the first time the Colonials do that in conference play since February 4th, 2015 against Upper Dublin and December 8th, 2015 against Abington, which was at Thunderbird Willow Grove. PW just swept Abington, so it would be a strange but true coincidence. Good pickup for Monaghan on the right lane for Upper Dublin. He's got 4 marks in 7 frames. He's at 103 through 7. Mueller has to deal with the 1, 2, and 10 pins. Ethan Dorder knocks down all 10. That's his third strike.
There it is. Hey, that's it.
And Upper Dublin having a good game so far. Better than expected. 2 of 3 picked up by Mueller. 114 through 7 in game 1. Gable Caddy gets 9 on the right lane, lane 44. Panzer off his first miss. He makes it up with a strike, his third X of the game. 527 for PW. But the spare there makes it 529 for Upper Dublin. This is going to be a close one, it looks like. Here's Newell. Leaves us the 4 and 7 pins. The last time Newell actually faced the Cardinals was February 3rd, 2016. PW won 3 games to 1. PW clinched second place in the conference, but PW lost the last game, 780 to 777, and PW decided not to celebrate because it was like getting punched in the gut. Another mark for Newell, nothing but spares and strikes, 555 through 7 for PW, 549 for the Cards, as Joseph has nothing but spares and strikes as well. 8th frame now, and Jaden Hudson just got his first strike. Third straight mark. Cologne won't get the head pin. Set 92 before that roll. Put him at 106. So 575 to 563 pending rolls. David Serto will be on the right lane now. 44 for PW. Leaves the 10. Plymouth Whitemarsh opened the season with a 4-0 loss at Happero Horsham before a 3-1 loss here against Quakertown, which is in its first season of having bowling. Monaghan will be next after the open by Cologne. And that's a miss for David Serto. Not happy about it. 123 through 8. 593 to 564 PW. Middle of the 8th frame. Monaghan with the left hand now. On the left lane. At 117. Mueller. There's all 10. His third strike, his first since frame 4. It's at 124. As Panzer will go after him on the right lane, but Monaghan will have to pick up the 1, 3, and 6 pins. Good pickup for Joey Monaghan. That's his 5th mark. Tyler Panzer now in the right lane. That 10 thought about it, but wouldn't come down. He has 9 on that one. Dorder leaves 3 pins on the right side. Puts Panzer at 131 for the roll. 621 to 595 PW in this 8th in game 1. But Newell is after Panzer and after Dorder to be with Caddy and Joseph. Couldn't get it out of the gutter. It's an open frame for Dorder. Averaging 136.44. 1 pin pickup there for Tyler Panzers at 133 through 8. Gable Caddy now in the left lane for the Cards. Gets all of them. 7 of the 8 frames he has marked. Now Newell gets everything. That's his 5th strike. Nothing but strikes and spares. 6:43 to 6:15 PW. Through 8. Now here's Joseph. We'll deal with the 6 and 10. For Dublin at 6:31 pending the rolls. As Justin Cologne will start the 9th frame on the right lane for the Cards. Oh, he gets all. Pin spins. It's a huge strike because Joseph just came up empty-handed on his second ball in the 8th frame. So now it's going to be 6:43 to 6:40. That's going to change when the score is adjusted. Hudson on his first strike. And he has a 2-bagger. Jaden Hudson, 4 straight marks after getting 4 opens in the first 5 frames. It's at 119. Through 9. The strike counted. For Cologne, that was just a second strike. And there's another 10 for Certo. It's his 4th X. Second and 3 frames. Give him 133 through 9. 673 to 641. Again, both Upper Dublin and PW picked up 3-1 wins against each other last season. Not sure if PW's ever been swept by Upper Dublin. Upper Dublin the last few years have struggled to get above 5 game wins in the entire season. And Miller, a little upset that he only picked up 9, left the 7. There's Monaghan. Voigt's getting a split. It's a manageable situation, having to deal just with the 2-pin. He's at 138, now in the 9th frame. Miller's second will be good enough. That's 6 straight marks for PW. 693 to 659 Colonials. Monaghan gets the 1-pin spare. And Tyler Panzer just got his 4th strike of the game. Now Jake Newell will come up next. Dordert gets his 4th X on the right lane. Now here's Newell. And he has a split. During his first 2 years on varsity, Newell had been in the 3rd and 4th positions. Again, he did not bowl for the Colonials last year. Blizzard wanted him back for this season after that 8-40 showing last season by the Colonials, which had been anchored by Kieran Malley. And Newell hands over his head. Gets 1 of 2. His first open of the game. He's at 182 through 9. In the 10th frame, each bowler can get a maximum of 3 rolls, meaning you can get 3 strikes. PW is at 731. Gabe Licati's got to lay his turn now in the right lane. Jaden Hudson should wait until Sam Joseph goes as well. That 5-pin won't fall for Licati, who's at 145 pending the roll. Licati's high game this season, 204, high series, 457. Brushes it aside for the spare. Cologne's going to begin his 10th frame on the left lane for the Cards, and he leaves the 10 off his second strike. It's at 135. PW averaging 838 a game, Upper Dublin 705. Last season, the Cardinals averaged 666. Oh, that's not going to come back. So Cologne finishes with 135 in his first game. Joseph will end his 9 frame here. Gets to spare. 8 of the 9 frames have been marks. So now 731 to 718 PW. All 10 for Monaghan. They'll get 2 more rolls. So at 159, here's Hudson. Gets everything as well. And for Hudson, he has a turkey. 3 in a row. That's the first turkey of the match for any bowler. That's 5 straight marks for Hudson after 4 opens and 4 the first 5. Monaghan gets 9 in the second ball. He'll have 1 more. Hudson picking a good time to get his ham bone. 4 in a row. It's at 169. PW at 781. Upper Dublin 747. Starting to pull away. PW has a couple of 900 games in league play this year. Did not have any 900s in leagues last year. Strike and spare in the 10th frame for Monaghan, finishing with 169. That's his highest game so far on varsity this season. Ethan Dorter rolled it right in the gutter, and that could be costly. His first ball is a gutter ball. David Serto take advantage on the right lane for PW. 2 strikes in a row. So Hudson finished with 5 strikes in a row. He ended the first game on a pretty high note, 179. Gets 9 on the rebound ball. That's 160 for Dorter. So 766 so far for the Cards in game 1. McCaddy gets 9. He's at 165. That's also a turkey for Serto. He has 3 strikes in a row. And he has 6 in the game. He's at 173. And he'll finish with a turkey as well in the 10th frame. 4 in a row, a ham bone. 183. McCaddy, 9 spare, and 9. 175 of his total. Zach Miller in lane 44. Will crest the re-rack. All the pins are improper. PW right now up 841, 794. So it looks like PW is going to get a win here in game 1. Keep in mind, it's not about the number of matches you win, it's by the number of games and your average pinfall. Joseph doesn't like it. He's going to deal with the 4 and 10 with a split. Miller's first is 8. 160 so far in his 10th. 857 to 810. PW pending these rolls. Joseph keeps his balance, but can get 1 of 2. And Upper Dublin will finish with 811. Much higher than its average. Miller picks up a 2-pin spare. PW 859. PW has not been above 500 in league play since defeating Upper Dublin 3-1 on February 3rd, 2016 to conclude the season. PW qualified for Eastern PA Regionals for the 6th time in program history. Regionals have been in existence since 2007. 7 on the final ball for Mueller. He'll finish the game with a 169. Tyler Panzer will be up next. He's at 153. Should Jake Newell get 200 this game, PW will match its total from last season with 5 200 games. And this is only the 4th conference match of this 2017-18 season. Now, if PW wants to get back in the conversation for qualifying for regionals, it would have to be either first or second in the conference or have a good enough pinfall average. Not only in the American Conference, but also Suburban 1 National as well. It's 9 spare for Tyler Panzer. 1 roll to go in his 10th. 886 for PW. PW's high this season, 921. And it is possible to break it. Gets 9 of 10. Finishes with 182. So that's 895. So Jake Newell up. For his 10th and final frame of game 1, he gets 9. But PW is at 904. It is still possible for him to get 200 should he mark. Get this spare, which he will. So if Newell gets 8 here, at the least, I think it will be his second 200 game in league play this season, and it'll be PW's 5th in leagues. Gets all 10, that's going to be a 200 plus. Finishes with 202. PW wins game 1, 9-15 to 8-11. So we're going to have the second game here. Looks like the lineups will remain the same. Jaden Hudson will start on the right lane for PW and make that 6 strikes in a row dating back to game 1. He had a 179 that first game. Justin Cologne palms the ball for Upper Dublin and gets all 10. Good start for Cologne, who had a 135. Serto gets 9 on that first ball in the second frame. Monaghan had a 169 his first game. Will get 7. Serto will pick up that 1 pin spare to begin his second game. Now your scores from all your games will be added up for your final series, so it'll be important to make the most of your marks. So an open frame, 7 and 1 for Joey Monaghan, the 2-hole. Zach Miller, the 3-hole for PW on lane 44. 1 pin moves out of position and marks him at 8. There are 7 pins there. There's 7 pins knocked down. It says that Miller has to deal with the 3 and 10. Ethan Dordert guttered his first ball in this first frame of game 2. It's 28-18 early on in frame 1 of game 2. Miller will have an 8 and 1 according to the scoreboard. So a split open. And Dordert gets 10 pins on the second ball. So very good rebound for Ethan Dordert. Panzer off at 182 first game will get all 10 to begin his second game. He had 3 strikes in game 1. It's a 6 spot right now for Gabe Licati on the left lane for Upper Dublin of Fort Washington. Upper Dublin looking to get a game win over PW for the 4th straight match. Licati rolls it into the gutter. Jake Newell off a 202. He'll leave the 4. He'll smile. Here's Sam Joseph. Ball hanged up in there a while. Pick up 7. Newell's second is good for the 1-pin spare. So 49 for PW for 1 frame of game 2. PW won game 1, 9-15 to 8-11. It's important for Upper Dublin to win and win by a good margin, because it is possible for each team to take 2 games apiece, depending on pinfall. It's a spare pickup for Sam Joseph. A strike, 2 spares, and 2 opens in the first frame for Cardinals. It's Colonials 49, Upper Dublin 44 for 1 frame in game 2. There's Hudson off, strike. Jaden Hudson finding the right time to get these strikes. That's the 7th straight strike dating back to the last game. He's had a strike for every frame since frame 8 of game 1. Cologne had 8 on his first roll in this second frame of game 2. It's a 9 spot for David Serto in the left lane for PW. Cologne will get 2. That's a spare. He'll get the 2. So strike spare. He started game 1 with a spare open. Spare open. And Serto misses it. So he has a spare and an open. 28 through 2. So 87 to 70 PW before the rolls. Monaghan on the right side rolled 6 on that first ball. Zach Miller leaves the 2, 4, and 5 pins. Now Monaghan's second ball on the right lane for Upper Dublin. And we'll get only 1 of 4. Back-to-back opens. Miller's second. And he'll pick up the loose change. Gets a spare. Dorder off the gutter ball, 10-pin spare. Now for his second frame in game 2. Had a 160 game 1. It's a great rebound to get the strike. Tyler Panzer misses the head pin. And now it's 109 to 91 PW, pending rolls. Licati lost his footing and gets all 10. So not a bad pickup. Second ball for Panzer. And they'll get all of them. Panzer for strike and spare. In game 2. It's at 30. Sam Joseph off a 7 to spare. He had a 1 to 72 game 1. He'll get 7. Now here's Newell. He'll leave 1. So Jake Newell qualified for Eastern PA Regionals as an individual 2015 and 16. 2015, he was accidentally announced as an at-large qualifier at Suburban 1 Championships. But because his name was announced, he won anyway. Good pickup for Joseph. And it's an open for Newell. Newell also made it to regionals as a sophomore. but that was by average and not by at-large perf. To the third frame now. 135, 118, BW. It's a good pickup for Cologne. He'll get the strike, and how about Hudson? Jaden Hudson. Turkey in the game. How about this? 8 straight strikes for Jaden Hudson. That's dating back to frame 8 of game 1. Monaghan picks up 8. Serto gets everything. All 10. So Joey Monaghan looking for his first mark. Not going to get it. Nothing there. 3 frames, 3 opens. 23 for him in game 2. Zach Miller in the right lane. I'll leave 1. We'll leave the 3. So that 37 pending to roll. Dorter. And for the second time in the last 3 frames, rolls a first ball gutter. So he has gutter, spare, strike, now gutter. Miller's second is on target. Miller, open, spare, spare for his third game. He had a 169 first game. Dorter will keep it on. And again, gets all 10. So he has gutter, spare, strike, and gutter, spare. Mike Morgan impressed by that, but would like to probably see strikes. McCaddy leaves to 6 and 10. After Panzer gets a strike, Jake Newell for PW on the right lane. No mercy on the pins. He gets everything. McCaddy misses the spare. Sam Joseph off back-to-back 7 spares. We'll finish the third frame for the Cards on the left lane. 224 to 182 PW. PW hasn't had a 2700 league series since February 1st, 2016 against North Penn. If you get a 2700 series, that means the team would average 900 pins a game. Another 7th spot for Joseph. Joseph last season 138.75 average in 16 varsity games. For the third straight frame, it's another 7 spare. Through 3 frames, PW 224. Cardinals 199. 4th frame now for Justin Cologne. Hudson will be on the left lane. Leaves the 7. That ends his stretch of 8 straight strikes, and Cologne his 3rd strike in 4 frames. To begin game 2. Cologne's high game again. 228. The only Cardinal this season so far with a 500 series. It was 532. Hudson's second looks good. And we'll pick up the 7. Now how about this? Jaden Hudson has not opened since frame 5 of the first game. He started game 1 with 4 of 5 marks and hasn't opened, misses that is, and hasn't opened since. Monaghan just got a strike, his first mark. Now Dorter, he keeps doing that. Maybe someday, never know, get a 300. He has gotten 10 pins on all 4 frames. 2 were first ball gutters though, 2 were strikes. So right now 70 through 4 for Dordert. Now Serto picking up the 1-pin spare, and he'll get it. Now McCaddy, and we're going to have our first 7-10 opportunity. I think in the Professional Bowling Association you convert this, that's $100,000. It's a heck of a payday if that happens. Miller will have his 4th frame on the left side. Miller missed it completely. He knows it. Oh, so close. Had the right idea, but not enough pin action. He'll pick up the 7, but not the 10. But a very good try for Gable Caddy. Right idea. So Miller has to deal with the 1, 2, 8, and 10 pins. This is not a split because the front head pin is there, and he gets all 4. That's how you get it done. So 289 for PW. Joseph will now roll for Upper Dublin and gets all 10. 4 to 5 bowlers for Upper Dublin had strikes. Panzer gets all 10. 3 strikes and 4 frames. He's at 70 for 4. 278 for Upper Dublin. 309 for PW. Now Hudson's 5th frame. Leaves the 3 pins on the right side. That's the 3, 6, and 10. Jake Newell, the anchor for PW on the left side. Have no mercy again. It's a 2-bagger. PW has 10 straight marks. 343 now for PW. 278 for the Cards. Hudson will get 2 of 3. That's his first open since frame 5 and game 1. 345 now for PW. 278 for Upper Dublin. 5th frame Cologne. The left side. How about this? Turkey for him. 4th strike of the game. 5 frames. He had 2 X's in game 1. He's at 100 for 5. Just an 8 spare is the only non-strike from game 2, from frame 2 in game 2. Joey Monaghan leaves the 10. Split conversion time for Serto. Can't answer the bell. Catch 1. $75 for 5 for Serto. David Serto, the 2-hole. Mueller will be on the right lane for PW after Monaghan finishes on the left for Upper Dublin. The left-hander gets it done. 2nd straight mark after open, open, open. Miller gets all, but he's shaking his head still. Not sure if he likes his ball movement or the ball is not spinning in his favor. Messenger and Dordert gets a 9. Frames 1 and 3, Dordert got gutter ball spare. 2 and 4, he got strikes. Panzer, turkey for him. He has 4 strikes and 5 frames. Give him 100. Dordert misses it completely. It's a 9 open. Gable Caddy, just a strike and 3 opens in game 2. Right now, 412 to 346. Looking like PW of old against Upper Dublin. The way it's playing out and dominating the Cardinals. McCaddy gets 7, has to deal with the 3, 6, and 10. Newell gets another strike. He's got a turkey as well. That's the 4th turkey in this game by all bowlers. Panzer also has a turkey. Cologne has a turkey. Hudson, frames 1, 2, 3 had strikes. So it is a 7 open for the caddy. Joseph off spare, strike. The 2-hander in the left lane now for Upper Dublin. That's some smooth sailing there. Gets all of them. Spare, strike. 84 for 5. Hudson has to deal with actually it's Cologne. Hudson's going to wait his turn. So Cologne missed his only split conversion in the first. Hudson gets a strike. Gets 1-2. Cologne did. He's at 126 for 6. Hudson, 4 strikes in 6 frames. He had 5 in a row to end his first game. He has 9 strikes. Now Monaghan will get 7 of 10. The right wing for Upper Dublin. One of the bowlers you got to pay close attention to this season in Suburban 1 American is Matt Morley. Junior two-handed anchor for Hatboro Horsham, entering the day with 7 200 games. Serto picks up the pieces for the spare. Monaghan gets 2 of 3. His 4th open in 6 frames in game 2. 69. It's nice to see Upper Dublin coach Mike Morgan standing by his team for some encouragement. Miller now leave the 4-pin. Right now in the 6th frame of game 2. 480 to 415 PW. PW won game 1, 9-15 to 8-11. It's a good job by Miller picking up the 1 pin. Ethan Dorder going to have to solve his mystery of either getting a first ball gutter or a strike. It's a 9-spot Rapanzer. But the second straight frame in which he doesn't roll in the gutter or get a strike. On his first ball, that's 8 for Dorder. Panzer looking to get just a 7-pin for the spare, ending his turkey. Jake Newell also has a turkey. Will be next. 2 spares and 4 strikes for Panzer. Clean sheet so far in game 2. 1 of 2 for Dorder. Now PW distancing itself from the Cardinals. 5-11 to 424. Game 2, frame 6. Newell on a turkey. The 7 won't budge. Now Licati. Looks like he's got a split. 5-6-10. Oh, haven't been any split conversions so far, and that is an open. 4th straight open frame for Gabe Licati. Newell will pick it up. Marks in 5 and 6 frames in game 2. 540 to 432 PW through 6. 7th frame about to begin. PW up 1 game to none. Upper Dublin 0 and 13. PW 6 and 7. These two teams had a combined 12 wins in conference play 2016-17. Sam Joseph leaves the 4, 6, and 7. He'll have to deal with this split. Justin Cologne will begin the 7th frame on the left side for Upper Dublin. Looks like he'll have a split. Second straight frame, he'll have a split opportunity. Leaves the 3 and 10. A little too much spin for Joseph, but right idea. He only gets 2 of 3. Cologne to finish his 7th frame. And he leaves the 3, gets 1 of 2. Back-to-back opens after 4 strikes and a spare to begin this game. It's at 135 for 7. Hudson will get 8. So Hudson has 4 strikes in this game. He had 5 on his final 5 rolls. In game 1, that gave him a 179. Monaghan. Wow. 4th straight split for Upper Dublin. Jaden Hudson starts the 7th frame strong for PW with an 8 spare. He's at 135 in game 2. Monaghan not going to get enough of a touch. How about this? 7 straight opens for Upper Dublin. Serto's got a split to deal with himself. 2nd split in 3 frames. Had a split 8-1 in frame 5. Ethan Dorder. That's not a split. But it leaves him with the 3 and 6 pins on the left lane. And that's a missed conversion. 2 of 3 though for Serto. He's at 101 through 7. And that's an empty ball. Open frame for Dorder. 3 straight opens after 4 straight marks. He's at 105 through 7. That's a lot of splits now in the second game, as Miller has to deal with the 5 and 10 pins on the right lane. It's his second split opportunity. Now, it wasn't necessarily a split as Licati gets the spare in frame 1. I think there was an error on the lanes, and it just got corrected. He had a 7-2 instead of split 7-2. And that time, Miller couldn't convert it in frame 7. He's at 111 through 7. Sam Joseph got a strike. So Upper Dublin has 502 through 7. But Panzer with a 9 gives PW 611. PW had 915 in the first game. Upper Dublin had 811. Upper Dublin's high game this season was 798. So first time this season Upper Dublin at 800 or more. And that's easy pickings for Panzer. Nothing but strikes and spares in this game. 148 through 7 for the PW 4-hole. Entering this match, North Penn led all Suburban 1 American teams with 2,200 games. Also tied the lead with 5,600 series with Hatboro Horsham. The Hatters have 13,200 games, 7 belonging to Matt Morley. Hudson gets a strike to begin the 8th frame. That's his 5th of the game. Here's Newell. No mercy there. There's his 4th strike. He has 137 through 7. 8th frame now. 652 to 502 PW. PW won game 1, 915 to 811. David Serto on the left lane. 43 for PW. With a 9 spot. Leaves a 10. Cologne now on back-to-back opens. This time it's another 8 to begin the frame, but it's not a split. Serto second needs to pick it up, and the speed wasn't enough. Could not nudge to 10, and that's an open. 3 opens in the last 4. For Serto, 110 for him. In the 8th frame of game 2, PW 661, 512 for Upper Dublin after their Justin Cologne spare. Zach Miller rolls it in the gutter. That's PW's first ball gutter of the match. Miller entering this match with a 160.57 average, with a 185 high game, and a 515 high series. Last season, Miller's high series was 558. Gets 9 on the rebound shot. So gutter 9 for Miller. He's at 120 through 8. Monaghan with 8 on his first and gets 2 on the second for the spare. Monaghan's third mark in the game. Tyler Panzer now in the left lane for PW with another 9, leaving the 7 yet again. Ethan Dordert leaves yet again. 2 pins on the right, the 6-10. Panzer will look to pick up the 7 on the left lane. Some good ball movement. 4 strikes and 4 spares. That's 3 straight spares in the game. Game 2 for Panzer, 167 through 8. Here's Newell with 4 strikes in his last 5 frames. A little bit too much. That's why he got 7 on that first ball. Now Licati for Upper Dublin. Gets everything. That's his second strike of game 2. He had 2 as well in the first game. And Newell picks up the 3 he needs. He's got 4 strikes, 3 spares, and an open. 157 through 8. 709 for PW. And last year, PW's high game was 879. PW averaged 759 a game. Entering this game this season, 838 in conference play. Cologne starts the 9th frame for the Cardinals on the left side with 9. He'll have to deal with the 5. Now, the last time Upper Dublin had a competitive game against PW here, back on January 14, 2010, PW won 4-0. Upper Dublin had a 9-10 game. Good pickup for Cologne. It's now 709 to 570. Now in the 9th frame, it will be Monaghan's turn. Sam Joseph still has his 8th frame. Monaghan rolled it over the second diamond to the left. Will knock down 7. Now on that January 14, 2010 match, Curtis Carter had, for Upper Dublin, had games of 224, 233, and 153 for a 6-10. Carter, I believe, now works for the company DHL, graduated from Penn State. Also played volleyball at Upper Dublin. And that's just 1 of 3 for Monaghan. Also in that match I've been talking about from 2010, Nick Tomaine for PW had a 661 series. PW had 9 200 games alone in that match. 2-pin spare converted by Joseph in the 8th frame. Nine on the first ball for Dordert. Hudson now in the 9th gets all of them. 6 strikes. That's his 11th of the day for Hudson, who started the game with 3 straight strikes. He has 3 in his last 4. Give him 175. He had 179 in game 1. He is finding a good rhythm. Dordert gets that spare. Just his 3rd spare and 5th mark of the game. His first mark since a strike in game 4, in frame 4 of this game. It's game 2, 739 to 615. PW in the 9th frame. Upper Dublin in the left lane, Gabe Licati now is a 98 pending this second roll. He has a 6th spot. Zach Miller off a gutter ball 9 from frame 8 with a 120 for his first ball for PW in frame 9. Good rebound. That's for 3 straight strikes for the Colonials in this frame. After the Serto strike. Now Panzer, with nothing but strikes and spares, will be in the right side for Plymouth Whitemarsh. And here's Panzer. He'll leave 1 pin. He'll leave the 3. Now Sam Joseph. in his first 8 frames of this game. 7 marks, just a split 7-2 for his lone open in frame 6. Gets the front pin, but this will be a split for Sam Joseph. All the Cardinals right now with over 100 in this game, but it's 768 to 645 PW pending rolls. As Panzer gets the spare. Joseph completely missed it, rolled it to the left side before he even reached the diamond. Here's Newell, and there's all of them. 5th strike of the game for Jake Newell, who's glad to be back this season for PW after not participating at all 2016-17. Jaden Hudson has figured it out, his second turkey of the game. And that's his 7th strike. To begin frame 10, he's at 205. And PW has just gotten its 6th 200 game of the season. And guess what? PW has more 200 games this season than last season. PW had 5 200 games in league play. Now there's 6, and Hudson, with his 8th strike, his 4th in a row, 225. That's going to be his season high. It was 211. 8 spare for Cologne. He'll get one more ball in the 10th frame bonus. He's at 182. 838 to 663 PW. Hudson looking to finish out strong, and he does. He reaches the 230s. 9 strikes. 5 in a row for the second straight frame to end it. 235 for Hudson. And I believe the high game last year for PW was 233. That might have been David Serto, who's up right now, who's at a 136 after that roll. 9 on the final roll for Cologne. So Justin Cologne, 135 in the first game, 191 in the second. Now Joey Monaghan with a 169 first game, 102 entering this final frame in game 2. And the lefty gets everything down for his second strike. Serto gets both, 140 entering his final roll in the 10th frame. So Jaden Hudson at 235. That's PW's high game in league play. In order to qualify for Eastern PA Regionals, scores from your conference matches count for qualifying. Your non-leagues do not factor into your statistics. All 10 for Serto in lane 43 to finish it. Upper Dublin coach Mike Morgan kidding around with Serto. That's a 150 after 183. So give him free. Monaghan finished strong with a strike 9 spare for a 122. Now here's Mueller, 130 entering that ball. He's at 144 by rolling the 7. So PW and Upper Dublin will face off again one more time this season. I believe it'll be at Thunderbird Warminster, since Thunderbird Willow Grove closed in summer 2016. Also the lanes for Upper Moreland and Hatboro Horsham. Miller's second. He's got to hurry, and he gets it. So 7 spare and 1 more for Miller, who's at 150. So Dordert just got a strike. He'll get 2 more rolls. It's 898 to 712. PW. How about this? PW's going to get 900 for the second straight game in this match. Keep in mind, PW's high game this season in conference play, 921. Miller gets 8 to finish with 158 in game 2 after 169. 1 of 2 for Dordert on his final ball. So strike 8-1 for a 153 game 2 after a 160 game 1. And looks like there's Deadwood pin ahead of the rack on lane 44, the right lane for Upper Dublin. So 906 to 721 PW. Licati gets 9 on his first ball in his final frame. Set 109. Tyler Panzer, still nothing but strikes and spares. He's at 206. PW now with 7 200 games in league play. If you include Snow Roller, that's 7 200 games in the past 60 hours. That's a strike and then a 9. Licati missed the spare conversion. He's at 109 to finish game 2 for the Cards. Sam Joseph gets a strike to begin his final frame. PW at 935 now. That's his highest game in 2 seasons in the league. Picks it up. Strike 9 spare. 216. For Panzer, that's his high game for league play this season so far. Right now, he is at a 398. 2 straight strikes in the 10th frame for Sam Joseph for Dublin. At 750. Now Newell. All 10. For him, that's his 6th strike. 2 in a row. It's at 197. Newell looking like his old self. A year not on the lanes for PW. He's getting back into a groove. It's a 183 for Sam Joseph and a 758 game 2 for the Cards. Newell will get another strike. That's a turkey. He's at 217 after a 202 first game. So he's at 419 and counting. There's a possibility for 3 PW bowlers to get 600 series. As Hudson right now is in the 400s. Newell's third ball will get 8 of 10. But another solid performance. 225. PW 3 bowlers with at least 210. Finished with a 984. PW has a shot at 2,700 for the first time since February 1st, 2016 in Suburban 1 American play. So far, Plymouth Whitemarsh up 2 games to 0. I'm Scott Samuel David Weiss, and we'll be back with more action right after this. Back here at Facenda Whitaker Lanes, this is Suburban 1 American Boys Bowling on CITV. For two games, PW up 2-0, and an aggregate score of 1,899. Upper Dublin the last 3 seasons, 3 wins, 4 wins, 4 wins. Justin Cologne will start the 3rd game. The 5-pin wiggles on the right side for the Cardinal leadoff. At 326 through 2. PW is up 2-0, entering this game with 1899 to 1569. It's a big gap. Cologne's second ball. Misses it to the left. It's an open for Cologne. Joey Monaghan will start it off. Upper Dublin has 9 so far in the first frame of game 3. Hudson is yet to roll. Monaghan will knock down 5 pins, leaves the middle. Hudson looking for another great game. but he leaves the 7. He'll get 9 to start it off. Hudson's high series this year, 571. Monaghan picks up the pieces. Gets the spare. Hudson misses it. That's Hudson's first open since frame 5 of game 2. He had a 235 last game. Ethan Dorter making sure not to roll it in the gutter, gets all 10. Now here's Serto. Down the middle, but he leaves free pins on the right side. 3, 6, and 10, and lane 43. Gable Caddy. Good move. Gets the strike. Back-to-back strikes for the Cardinals. Currently 39-16. Upper Dublin, but of course Serto still has another roll. Miller, Panzer, and Newell have to go as well. Sam Joseph leaves the free pin on the right lane for Upper Dublin. 10 wouldn't budge. It's 2 of 3. For Serto, back-to-back opens to begin game 3 in frame 1 for Plymouth Whitemarsh. Zach Miller off a 158 game will be next for PW. I believe the next edition of CITV Sports for PW Boys Bowling will be in January 2018 against Abington. PW swept the road match against Abington, and Zach Miller looking to start the sweep for PW with a strike. Joseph picked up the spare. Tyler Panzer leaves the 4-pin. Hudson will begin his second frame and gets everything. Panzer needs a 202 for his first 600 series. He had a 585 at this year's snowblower. He picks up the spare. So it's 49-48. Upper Dublin, but Jake Newell still has to go in this first frame. Newell at a 427 after 202 and 225. And puts that down. Newell cannot break the high series record here. That's 746. If he gets nothing but strikes, it would only put him at 727. Only one 700 series entering this day in Suburban 1 American. That was A.J. Burrell of Upper Moreland with 824. That's something you're rarely going to see. Serto gets everything on his second frame. And Justin Cologne begins his second frame for the Cardinals. Zach Miller will be next for PW on the left lane. Upper Dublin began this season with a 4-0 loss against Quakertown, 25-12 to 2041. I think it was Quakertown's first ever conference match in its bowling history. Cologne picks up the 2-pin spare, so it is an open spare so far for Cologne, 19 for 2. PW's up 68-59 early on in the second frame of Game 3. PW won Game 1, 915 to 811. Game 2, 984, 758. Leaves the 7-pin is Monaghan in the left lane. Zach Miller, just going to be a split opportunity with the 3 and 10. Ethan Dorter off his strike will follow Monaghan. Then will be Caddy and Sam Joseph. And that will not hold on for Monaghan. Spare open, 28 for 2. Just 77 for the Cardinals. Gets the free, but not the 10 So Miller comes up short. It's a split 8-1. On the left side now is Ethan Dordert for Upper Dublin. He leaves the free. Now Tyler Panzer gets everything. Tyler Panzer had nothing but strikes and spares in game 2. I think he has just one open frame this match. I think that was frame 6 in game 1. So Dordert with the 9 miss. Now it's Gabe Licati. Licati has a 2-bagger. Back-to-back strikes. It's at 30 for 2. Newell has back-to-back strikes as well. Give him 30. 126 to 115. PW. But Joseph will end the second frame. And that's an ugly looking result. Got grandma's teeth there, as we like to say sometimes. Has to do with the 2, has to do with the 3, 4, 6, 7, 10. Cologne picks up his first strike of game 3. He's at open spare strike. He has 39 for 3 for the Cards. Joseph to finish it. Only get 2 out of 5. So Joseph opens. Upper Dublin has 147, but have already gone one bowler into this third frame. 147 to 126. Monaghan leaves the free. 8-9 pins. Here's Hudson off a strike. And that's a double. Hudson had 5 strikes in game 1. 9 in game 2. So that's his 16th strike, if my math is correct, in this match. And that's only 1 pin for Monaghan on the split opportunity. Serto off a strike, and he has another one, back-to-back for him. Give the PW2 hole 39 for 3. 166 to 155 Colonials. Middle of frame 3 and game 3. PW up 2-0. Looking for its first 4-0 win at home in conference play since January 13, 2016. And also looking for its first back-to-back 4-0 win streak since the last game of the 2014-15 season and the first match of the 15-16. The first and last matches, that is. So Dordert with another strike. Mueller picks up the spare. Tyler Panzer will be on the left lane. Gabe Licati on the right. His first non-strike gets 7. Panzer looking for the messenger to sweep it, but cannot. Leaves the 9. Licati's second is good. Licati, strike, spare, give him 57 for 3. Talking about messenger pins saving the day, the 2015 state champion for Pennsylvania boys have been the Chamonix. Defeated Hempfield 2-1, Hempfield area of the West. And got 2 messenger pin strikes to stay alive and eventually get that state championship trophy. So split now for Joseph with 7 pins. Newell starts off the game for Turkey. 226 to 199 PW. Pending the Joseph roll through 3. PW possibly getting its first 2700 series in 2 seasons. And conference play, that is. Only conference matches count for Eastern PA qualifying. And that's an open for Joseph. Cologne gets all 10 will give him his second straight strike, third straight mark. He's at 59 for 4. Right now, I believe he's in the 480s series-wise. Or the free 80s, sorry. Getting a bit ahead. Hudson with a split 8 right now. Monaghan gets the front pin. Doesn't look like it hit it directly. He'll leave the 2 and just have to deal with that. So it'll be Hudson's first split opportunity, I believe. Good pickup, the first split conversion of the match, I believe. So it's a split 8 spare for Hudson. 3 straight marks for him, give him 67 for 4. Joey Monaghan. 9 open. Third straight open frame. 45 for the 2-hole. He came into this match just 3 games under his belt. All 10 for Serto with the turkey. Good pickup after opening this game with an open. On the other side, Ethan Dorder. Back-to-back strikes, his third in 4 frames. 58 for Ethan Dorder for 3 in game 3. Zach Miller, strike, open and a spare. Now in the right lane, leaves the 2-pin. Gable Caddy, 2 strikes and a spare. And he'll have a split to deal with. And we're at Facenda Whitaker Lanes in East Norriton. Home to LaSalle College High School, Norristown Area High School, and Plymouth Whitemarsh. Bullet. Miller will pick it up. So 3 marks and 4 frames, give him 57 so far. It's an open frame for Licati for Upper Dublin. Panzer, 2 spares in the strike. And he'll have to deal with this 6-7. That's a split. 2-handed Samuel Joseph looking for his first strike. And he'll have to deal with his second straight split opportunity. Actually, maybe his third according to the scoreboard. It was a split 5-8, a split 5-2 in frame 2. And nothing doing there on that roll for Panzer. Joseph's second. One of the pins was missing. Newell with a hand bone to begin game 3. He has 90s right now at a 5-17 series and counting. Hudson beginning the 5th frame. Leaves the 10. Right now, PW is at 367. Upper Dublin, 276. In the 5th frame of our final game. That's another split. First split of the game, though, for Cologne. He's at 83, pending the roll. Hudson picks it up. 4th straight mark for leadoff Jaden Hudson, who had a slow start in game 1, 4 opens in 5 frames, but ever since has only had a couple opens. So he's at 86. Group 5 needs a 1. 86 for a 600 series. Serto looks like he has field goals there with the 4 and 6 pins. So he'll look to convert this. After the Cologne conversion. Monaghan has to convert a split as well. Serto is empty-handed though. Now 93 for 5. Last season, David Serto, 36 varsity games, 162.44 average. His high game was 233. High series, 556. Jaden Hudson had a 235 game in game 2. Ethan Dorder, another gutter ball. That's his first since game 2. frame 3 of game 2. Now Miller will pick up the spare. Miller has 3 straight spares to go along for striking an open. 75 for 5, 410, 313. PW, the middle of frame 5 of game 3. Panzer cannot get the 10 to go down. PW wins this game. PW won the match 4-0. It'll be the first time since the final regular season conference match of 2015-16 the Colonials are above 500 in conference play. And it would also mean PW would have more wins than the entire 16-17 season. Had 8 wins against 40 losses in conference play last year. A sweep here will put them at 9. And that's just 1 pin spare pickup for Panzer. Dordert got gutter 8. That was actually Licati who just picked up the spare. Newell has 7 in a row entering last game. And he will not get all 10 here. I believe Newell's highest game in conference play in his PW career is 266. He may have had higher other days. Remember the last time before this season PW had a 4-0 sweep. He had a 266 game, January 28th, 2016 against Upper Moreland in Willow Grove, which no longer exists. 2 pin spare picked up. He's at 118 through 5. And it looks like PW will break the mold with a 600 from someone. And Jaden Hudson, his 3rd strike of the game. Believe he is now at 17 in the match. 106 through 6 for the PW leadoff. 468 to 359. PW strike for Cologne. 3rd and 4th frames. This time on the right side. On the left side, Serto has a split for his 2nd straight. Monaghan, the lefty, leaves the 1, 3, and 9 pins. Serto has the 3 and 10. It's a more manageable situation for David Serto. Who gets both? 4th mark in 6 frames. Give him 103 through 6. Monaghan gets nothing but air. He's at 61 through 6. Serto's first varsity action came in a non-league match at Council Rock South, the former Brunswick zone in Feasterville, now called Bullerow. Back on February 4th, 2016, it was also Zach Miller's varsity debut for PW as well that day. He got 7. Ethan Dordert on the left lane for Dublin got 8. So when it comes time for Eastern PA Regionals March 2nd, last season the top 12 qualifiers who made it to the state tournament spanned from 1,104 to 1,151, and that's a 5-game series. Miller gets 2 of 3. His 2nd open frame of game 3. Dordert picks it up. It's his 1st spare. He also has 3 strikes and 2 opens. 494 to 396 PW in the 6th frame of game 3. PW up 2 games to none. Now Panzer, PW looks good. Good shape for the Colonials to get its 2nd straight 4-0 conference win. Panzer's 2nd strike of the game. Give him 96. Licati now will get 1 of 2 on that split conversion opportunity. Newell, 5 strikes in 6 frames. This is the Newell of old we're seeing here. PW definitely missed his production last season. PW coming into the 2017-18 season little bit higher expectations than last season. Now Upper Dublin having 2 bowlers on the lane. Sam Joseph, the anchor on the left side, has 7 on his first roll in frame 6. Justin Cologne, on the right side, 8 on his first roll, frame 7. 534 for PW through 6. Cologne gets both. So he's at open, spare, strike, strike, spare, strike, spare. For 127 through 7. That's a open frame for Sam Joseph. He's at 79 through 6. It's now 534 to 451 PW. 7 frame time for Joey Monaghan for Upper Dublin. Leaves the free pin. Jaden Hudson, 5 straight marks. Make it 6. 4th strike in the game. He had 9 in game 2 and 5 in game 1. That's 18 X's for the leadoff. He's at 126. Again, he needs a 184 for his first 600 series. And that's a good pickup for Monaghan. Serto gets the strike for the 4th time this game. His first since completing a turkey in frame 4. 123 through 7 for Serto in game 3. Zach Miller. And Miller continues to strike train. 5 strikes in a row for PW. Dorter answering the call with a strike of his own on the right lane for the Cardinals. PW looking to get its first match with 3 straight 900 games for the first time since the 15-16 season, I believe. Panzer gets 8 on his first ball and 7 for PW. Gabe Licati looking at just the 6th pin on the right lane. Panzer gets both for his 4th spare. And 6th mark of the game. He's at 116. Newell, there goes the 7. He has 6 strikes and 7 frames. Right now, at 158, he's at 585. If I'm not mistaken, just 15 pins away from PW's first 600 series in a match since he and John Hansel did it in February of 2016 and conference played at it. Cologne begins the 8th frame on the left side for the Cardinals with 7. Joseph with a split 7 here. Licati picked up a spare in the 7th. 624 for PW through 7. 512 for Upper Dublin pending this roll. Cologne gets the pickup. Joseph now gets 2 of 3 on that split. Another unsuccessful attempt. He's at 88 through 7. That's after games of 172 and 183. Joey Monaghan at 71 right now. Monaghan's first strike of the game comes right there. Jaden Hudson with a turkey. Couple times doing that today. He's at 156 through 8 and needs a 186 for a 600 series. PW had no 200 series last season in conference play. He endured it with a 2-bagger, his 2nd straight strike, and his 5th of the content of the game. 124 for him through 8. And David Serto got a strike as well. How about this? PW has a strike now and 9 straight rolls. Zach Miller looking to continue it. Well, actually, Tyler Panzer. How about 8 of the last 9 were strikes. See if we can make it 9 of 10. Little moves to pin out of the way. So PW with 8 strikes in the last 10 rolls. In the last 10 bowlers, that is. Licati had another open, and that was in the 8th frame. PW on the right side, lane 44 here at Facenda. Lane 43 for Upper Dublin. Miller will get the spare. However, PW has now 10 straight individual frames with a strike or spare. It's 8 strikes, 2 spares in that span. Sam Joseph now the anchor for the Cardinals. He finds his second strike of the game. Give him 98 through 8. Panzer now with his first ball. He has 9 to begin frame 8 for him. PW at 712, 583 for the Cards. Hudson now. That 7 won't budge. Jaden Hudson is just 3 pins away from PW's first 600 series by a bowler in conference play. It's February of 2016. Hudson won't get it there, but he has a chance to still get another 200 with a couple strikes. Right now, PW at 740. Upper Dublin, 583 for 8. Here's Newell. Newell having one of the better games of his senior season so far. That's now 7 strikes in 8 frames. It's just that 8 spare in the 5th frame. And now Serto continues to run. He has a turkey, 3 in a row. 173 in 9 frames. PW has just 2 perfect games, and it's now 14 seasons. Chris Hammis had one back in February 2008 against Norristown. Julius Selfinger at the end of January 2012 against North Penn. Miller gets a strike on the left side. It'll be now 820. Cologne got a strike to begin the 9th for the Cards. So it's now 820 to 619. And PW has not had a 2700 series of conference play. It's February 1st, 2016 against North Penn. That's an average of 900 a game. And there, Panzer gets PW's 3rd consecutive X. Open for Monaghan on the right side. Here comes Newell. Man, he's having one of those games, one of those days, 4 in a row. That's another ham bone. That's 8 of 9 strikes. PW 870 through 9. In comparison to last season, PW's highest game in conference play during 2016-17 was 879. They're at 870 through 9. Gable Caddy begins his 9th frame with 9. After Dorder got the turkey for his 3rd straight strike. 870 for PW, 660 for Upper Dublin. Upper Dublin has broken 2,000 again. Had 2,041 in its season opener in a 4-0 loss against Quakertown. Gable Caddy with another open frame. To see if Justin Cologne is going to let Sam Joseph complete his 9th frame before our final rolls of the match. Cologne decides to start his final frame. And it's a good one. It's a strike. So a two-bagger will give him 2 more rolls. He's at 184. His high game this season, 228. Jaden Hudson gets all 10, and for the first time since February 2016, a PW bowler's going to have a 600 series in conference play. Cologne has a split now. Hudson at a 193. He had a 130. He had a 179 game 1, 235 game 2. Hudson. He'll get 8. That puts him at 201. He's right now at 615. Cologne gets a couple. Justin Cologne has rolled Upper Dublin's third 200 game this season. He has 200. That matches the total from last season. Upper Dublin had just 3 200 games as well. This is the third this season. So it's a 526 for Cologne. Hudson with a 202. And with that, that is a 616. Monaghan with the strike in the left side. Serto was on a turkey. Right now at a 194. So a spare and a couple pins here would put him at a 200 game. PW at 910. PW has already surpassed 2,700. In fact, gets even better. They're over 2,800. They entered this game with 1899. And Serto disappointed he won't get the 200. 198. That's a 531 series. Monaghan's second is nothing but splattered pins. Monaghan at a 129. Now here's Miller with his first in the 10 for final frame. PW at 914, now 930. Upper Dublin at 736. PW right now is at 2829. And PW hoping to get used to scores like that. Miller will get both. Monaghan will have one more row on the left side. And won't get a couple. 134. That will put him at a 425. Zach Miller ends with an 8 spare 8. $169. Which falls short of a 500. That will be $496. Now, Ethan Dordert on the left side for the Cardinals with a 9. Panzer's first in the 10th. We'll have a split. Not anymore. The 10 pin decided to come out in the last moment. Dordert unsuccessful. Finishes with 181. That's a 494 series. Strike there for Gabe Licati on the left side for Upper Dublin. He's at 145. Panzer got the conversion. So he's at 175. Second ball gets 8 for Licati, and Panzer will get the messenger strike. 185. That gives him a 583 series, almost identical to the series he had at Snowwooler. The free game total 2 days ago, December 16th, was 585. That's some consistency there. So 155 for Licati. That puts him at a 437. Jake Newell gets all of them. 9 strikes out of 10 frames so far for Jake Newell. He's at 248. This might be his highest performance as a Colonial in conference play. Conference play, that is. His second. That's all 10. A strike here will be 278, which I think would be his highest in conference play. I think he may have had some 270s and 80s out of play. Joseph comes up empty-handed there with 138. Upper Dublin finishes the game with 808. That's a 493 for Joseph. One more ball for Newell. Upper Dublin with 808. And the pin setter uncooperative on lane 44 for Newell's final ball. Upper Dublin did not have a bad day. 2,377. 2,377, if my math is correct, because I think they had a 1569 for two. 800 games here. Last season, Upper Dublin's high game was 837. They had 811 in the first, 758 in the second, and 808 in the third for a 23-7-7. That's Upper Dublin's highest game. Highest series. In fact, Upper Dublin didn't even break 2,300 last season. So right now, PW at 1,022. Jeff Blizzard's squad has broken 1,000 in conference play for the first time since January 13th, 2016. I think it's the television appearance effect. That was on CITV against Norristown. PW is going to fall short of getting 3,000. Well, right now at 1,022. And so final score, PW 2,927 to 2,377. A 4-0 sweep. PW with back-to-back conference sweep wins for the first time since the final game of 14-15 and the first game, matches, of 15-16. That's another edition of CITV Sports. This is Scott Samuel David Weiss. Don't forget, for more information regarding CITV programming, please make sure to go online to www.colonialsd.org/community/CITV.